Last night was a disaster for many. Women, children, hardworking immigrants, healthcare, science, journalism, and freedom of speech all suffered setbacks. The poor, the middle class, pensioners, allies in Ukraine, NATO, truth, democracy, and decency were all defeated. The comedian walks on stage with a broad, triumphant smile, sensing that his words will make headlines. The audience holds its breath, anticipating something special. And then, the long-awaited jab lands, leaving a bitter and truthful aftertaste. Subscribing to the channel promises viewers more videos like this one. This time, Donald Trump Jr. is in the spotlight, and the internet is already buzzing with discussion. However, it's not the joke itself that's causing a stir, but what's behind it. Kimmel didn't just poke fun at Trump Jr. He exposed something the Trump family would rather keep hidden. Thus begins another chapter in the endless feud between Trump and Kimmel. Angry tweets, secret connections, desperate attempts by the family to control the situation, and a former president watching it all spiral out of control. Get ready, it's going to be a wild ride. In an interview, Kimmel questions the consequences of a possible guilty verdict for Trump. Acknowledging that he's been thinking about it, he admits he even dreams about it. He jokingly expresses his hope that it will happen, worrying about how to transition back to discussing American Idol, but assures everyone he has a plan. He even invites the interviewer to join his plan of action should Trump be convicted. In a recent episode of his late-night show, Jimmy Kimmel, as usual, started with political jokes, mocking the latest events and personalities. Suddenly, pausing and smiling mysteriously, he shared a rather unusual plan. Kimmel stated that if Donald Trump is convicted and sent to prison, such as Rikers Island, he would commit a crime in the New York area. The goal? To end up in the same cell as the former president and, in his words, drive him crazy from the inside. The comedian enthusiastically added that he would like to turn the prison sentence into a daily talent show, where he and his cellmates would entertain each other with monologues and jokes about Trump. Kimmel even suggested using old video recordings of Trump to constantly remind him of his past statements and actions. Later in the evening, transitioning to other news, Kimmel couldn't resist taking a jab at Donald Trump Jr., alluding to his unconventional views, which elicited laughter and applause from the audience. A burst of laughter shakes the room, laughter, surprised gasps, and even whistles. It was a joke that struck a nerve with its truthfulness. Instantly, Twitter is flooded with reactions, memes appear, hashtags become popular, and conservative pundits try to find excuses. Inside Mar-a-Lago, Trump's team is frantically trying to smooth things over. Donald Trump Jr. becomes the #1 topic, but not in a context he would appreciate. Somewhere backstage, Jimmy Kimmel is probably smirking, realizing he has just added fuel to an already raging fire. A tense atmosphere prevails at Mar-a-Lago. Reports indicate that Trump is pacing back and forth, phone in hand, seething with anger, ready to unleash the most outrageous outburst of the week. And then it happens. His fingers start typing, and within seconds, a furious tweet, riddled with typos, explodes on the internet. Jimmy Kimmel is a total loser. Nobody watches his failing show. Terrible ratings, a disgrace to television. I just got a review, and was there ever a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? The beginning of his performance was like an attempt by a mediocre person to appear to be someone he is not and never will be. Get rid of Kimmel and maybe replace him with another washed-up but cheap ABC talent. Try to guess which former president just posted this on Truth. He wrote, "Yes, thank you, President Trump, thank you for watching. It's amazing you're not in jail yet." His post had it all. Misspellings, random capital letters, and too many exclamation points. Within minutes, Twitter did what it does best. Took screenshots, created memes, and turned it into comedic gold. One user even corrected Trump's grammatical errors, like a high school teacher. But then something strange happened. Some tweets started disappearing. Were his advisors begging him to stop? Did he regret it? Most likely not. In any case, the damage was done. Kimmel had struck a nerve again. Kimmel's joke wasn't just a punchline. It was a hint, and the internet, always hungry for drama, quickly connected the dots. Donald Trump Jr. surprised the public with his new choice. His chosen one is not just a socialite, but a prominent environmental activist. The son of a man who called climate change a hoax is now dating a woman whose activism opposes his family's policies. The irony is striking. Social media, particularly Twitter, has exploded with reactions to the news. Some conservatives see it as a passing fling, while others are less forgiving. The most ardent supporters of the MAGA movement have expressed outrage, accusing Donald Jr. of abandoning his principles. Whether the relationship is genuine or a PR stunt remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. This is a scandal the Trump camp wasn't prepared for. For a family used to controlling the narrative, this is a nightmare. Unlike past situations where the Trumps presented a united front, like reality TV contestants protecting their brand, there's a deafening silence this time. Ivanka and Jared are keeping quiet, with no carefully crafted Instagram posts or hints of support. Perhaps they've decided to distance themselves from the chaos. It's important to remember that Donald Trump's involvement in the presidential race isn't just about seeking power. It's also a way to avoid prison, which is a powerful incentive. He's essentially running a race against his own freedom, while many others seem to have taken their positions in this crucial battle, whether it's to defend democracy or something else entirely. Recall how last week, Donald Trump discussed the possibility of arresting his political opponents. He also pressured Disney and suggested CBS should lose its license because of how they edited a 60 Minutes segment. How concerned are you that you might have to change your activities if Donald Trump is reelected? Well, nothing will change. I am definitely concerned, as I think it would be extremely unpatriotic if he started persecuting those who oppose him. Eric Trump, usually quick to defend his father, has been conspicuously absent, and his wife, Laura, seems focused on bigger plans. Rumor has it she's lobbying Governor Dan DeSantis for a Senate seat from Florida, suggesting she's more interested in her own political career than in being a family spokesperson. Donald Trump Jr., usually active on Twitter, has been silent. Perhaps he's busy explaining his new relationship to his father, or maybe he's been advised to keep a low profile. Either way, something is off. The Trump dynasty, once seemingly unshakable, appears more divided than ever. If Trump thought his Twitter outburst would end the feud, he clearly underestimated his opponent. Jimmy Kimmel not only refused to back down but seemed to gain momentum. Appearing on his show the following night, he immediately went on the offensive. "Trump is furious, folks. He called me a disgrace to television," which is especially funny coming from a guy who hosted The Apprentice and delivered the line "You're fired," like he was quoting Shakespeare. The audience erupts in applause, and Kimmel continues his assault. He compares Trump's anger to a toddler's tantrum in a candy store. Flailing arms, incoherent screams, and exhausted parents, i.e., advisors, desperately trying to calm him down. And then, the final blow. I don't know what's funnier, Trump's tweets or his belief that deleting those tweets will make them disappear. An explosion of emotion in the crowd, jubilation on Twitter, viral hashtags, and Jimmy Kimmel emerges victorious once again. If this were a boxing match, the point gap would be enormous. Kimmel lands precise jabs, while Donald Trump swings wildly, misses, and becomes the object of ridicule in real time. The engagement numbers don't lie. Kimmel's jokes are generating 300% more attention than Trump's angry tirades. Kimmel's videos are racking up millions of views, while Trump's all-caps tweets are drowning in a sea of memes. The internet has gone wild, spawning countless jokes about the commander-in-chief with caps lock on, and the Twitter-fingered leader. Screenshots of Trump's deleted tweets have garnered more attention than the original angry messages themselves. Even old videos of Trump mocking whiny comedians have resurfaced. The irony. Then came the poll results. A small but noticeable dip in Trump's approval rating hinted at something bigger. Comedy isn't just entertainment, it's influence. People weren't just laughing, they were thinking, and that's what Trump hates most. As in a Hollywood blockbuster, celebrities found themselves drawn into the escalating conflict. Sarah Silverman, Stephen Colbert, and even longtime late-night rivals couldn't resist weighing in. Colbert, with his signature irony, delivered biting remarks, Fallon subtly hinted, and Silverman outright called Trump the most insecure bully in the world. But the real surprise was the unexpected support Kimmel received from the right wing. A prominent conservative figure noted that Trump should be more tolerant and stop complaining about jokes on late-night shows. Even Trump's supporters began to wonder, if a comedian's words bother him so much, what does that say about his leadership qualities? Meanwhile, the media couldn't get enough of the story. Every news channel, from CNN to Fox, meticulously analyzed every detail of the conflict. Headlines discussed whether Trump was losing control, and late-night hosts turned it into television gold. By this point, it was clear. Trump had taken the bait, and Kimmel was calmly watching the chaos unfold, delivering one joke after another. Trump's attacks on comedians are nothing new. SNL, Seth Meyers, Stephen Colbert, he's tried to take down them all. Essentially, this man's main failing lies in his constant losing. Each of his rash outbursts turns an innocent joke into a screaming headline, a harmless taunt into a viral meme, and an ordinary late-night monologue into a significant cultural event. In reality, there's no objective reason for the difficulties Trump faces. If he had simply paid Stormy Daniels that $130,000 from personal funds, whether from his Pizza Hut savings or other sources, he would have avoided the current situation and problems in New York. Many of his legal troubles stem from his own recklessness. If the president hadn't called officials in Georgia, demanding they find 11,000 votes, he would have avoided problems in that state as well. If he had listened to the advice of those around him, including his daughters, and posted a message on Twitter a few hours earlier calling for calm and a return home, he wouldn't have faced the consequences of the events of January 6th. And if he hadn't taken personal letters from the leaders of Saudi Arabia and Kim Jong-un from the White House to his Mar-a-Lago estate, he wouldn't have attracted the attention of the FBI. In every situation where Trump finds himself in trouble, the cause lies in his own actions, demonstrating his less-than-stellar intelligence. He's far from a criminal genius. On the contrary, he creates problems for himself. This is what happened with Jimmy Kimmel. His angry Twitter posts not only failed to silence the comedian's jokes, but amplified their effect. The more Trump expressed his displeasure, the more people laughed. The more he tweeted, the more memes appeared online. Ultimately, he only confirmed Kimmel's point, showing that he's incapable of taking a joke. At the same time, Kimmel's ratings skyrocketed, audience engagement soared, and his jokes became a kind of currency on the internet. In comedy, the last laugh isn't just a good line, it's power. And this time, Kimmel didn't just have the last laugh. He completely captured the public's attention. This wasn't just another celebrity feud, but a masterclass in how humor shapes public opinion. Trump has always relied on having the loudest voice, but Kimmel reminded everyone that the sharpest microphone will always cut through the noise. Trump can tweet all he wants, but Kimmel's jokes will outlive any of his angry rants, which he'll later delete. Ultimately, a tantrum passes, but a good joke stays in the memory forever. We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Even more interesting videos are waiting for you on the